Hi there, I'm John Dron. This is part one of two video lectures accompanying my talk on flipped classrooms at the University of Brighton on May the 22nd, 2013. The reason that I'm talking about this is that lectures don't work very well. It's slightly less effective than reading the same material. A fair amount of research shows, in terms of performance at least, and in terms of outcomes as we normally measure them. As Bloom discovered, there's a 2 sigma variation between performance from via one-to-one teaching, which is normally held up as the gold standard, and the traditional lecture, and you can improve on that in a large number of ways, including mastery learning, as Bloom discovered, but also a lot of other alternative methods. However, we look at it though, the lecture is a really bad way of teaching. It does have some good sides. It provides good focus, so lots of people getting together in the same place at the same time to think about the same things has some value, and it does allow teachers to show how they think. And that's quite useful when you're trying to learn a subject. But the chances of getting an inspiring lecturer are extremely slim. Even the best lecturers tend to not always be on top form, let's put it that way. So given that, the flipped classroom is a very simple idea, and it's one that actually is certainly not new. It goes back to Dewey, and it's something which I've been doing since the mid-90s when I first started lecturing, and I was by no means the first. It's a simple concept. You shift the lecture, the kind of things that you would normally be doing, presenting information to people in a classroom, you put it online. And you use the time that's been freed up in the classroom to do something better, to do something more meaningful, connective, and actively engaging. So you no longer have to worry about shoveling information into people's heads because you've already done that. It has some huge benefits, and there's quite a wealth of research that shows enormous gains, 50% gains or more in terms of retention, engagement and performance when it's done well. There are all the benefits of the blended learning, that students can look at the stuff, take it at their own pace, to rewind it, to repeat it, and so that they can, if they're not sure about something or they want to think about it some more, they can do that. And they can use it for revision, of course. But really the big thing is that it puts students in control of that information delivery process. It's no longer something that you're forcing on them at a particular time in a particular place when they might, 9 o'clock on a Monday morning, you know what it's like. It's not always the best time. So giving students that control over the time and place and pace of their learning is a major advantage of online learning in general. But when you combine that with the opportunities that you get with face-to-face time, you get some real and measurable benefits. It does come at a cost. It takes time to do this, and although I've very deliberately done this presentation and its accompanying one in the most quick and dirty way that I possibly can. It just took me a few minutes to throw the slides together, and it's taken me a few minutes to record them. It nonetheless takes time. It takes a little bit of technical skill, not a lot, but you know, technologies do go wrong. And it needs some creativity and effort at the other end. Once you've freed up that classroom time, what the hell do you do with it? I think this is more of a benefit than a drawback, but for some it's going to feel a little challenging and frankly a little scary, which is why I encourage you to come along to the session on Wednesday. I've recorded an accompanying lecture, if you like to call it that, to go with this one, giving some hints about how to go about it, the kinds of tools that you can use, the kinds of processes to follow, and some ideas about what you might do with that space in the classroom. But really the main thing is that this is just serving as an introduction and to the session itself, Wednesday the 22nd of May, room 115, Mayfield House. I hope that you can make it, and if you can't, I hope that this has been of some value to you. Thank you for listening.